UNC. They looked like themselves again against Virginia Tech. They looked like themselves. They took a weird 4 out of 5 game departure where they decided to go full Revenge of the Body Snatchers or something like that. Right? Somebody else it was a Freaky Friday situation. Somebody else was playing their basketball games, but they looked like themselves against Virginia Tech. And they did exactly what we talked about. What was it, Thursday? I think it was on Thursday of last week. I was upset with myself because as the Tar Heels started looking less and less good, quite frankly, they started looking less and less effective in the ACC, my whining just kept ramping up. Right. And I was mad and I was confused and they weren't playing well. And I just kept pointing out that they weren't playing well.
You even had to issue an apology.
I issued an apology and I said, I'm a solutions guy. So then I put out my solution and it was play inside out. Right. I wasn't just here to scream about how RJ Davis wasn't making twos at a high enough rate. I was there to offer an alternative, which was give it to the guys that do shoot twos at a higher rate, namely Armando Bacot. So consider the excitement, the gratitude I felt when as I'm watching the Virginia Tech game for UNC, I'm just checking I always have the stats open on my computer in front of me, and it's just more attempts and more attempts and more attempts for Armando Bacot, and no offense, not as overwhelming a volume of attempts for RJ Davis. They played inside out, and they scored a bajillion points, and it was efficient, and it was effective, and it was what I wanted to see from them. Armando Bacot led the team in attempts, and RJ Davis had his fewest number of shot attempts in a single game in a month. In a month. Bacot finished with 25 and 12. It's a good day at the office.
Yeah.
RJ Davis still didn't shoot over 50%, but he did go 5 of 6 from the free throw line and still scored 20. That's him understanding winning basketball. That's Bacot understanding he has to be the engine. That's pretty darn good.
And Davis inside the arc, 2-point range, 3 of 5.
Which
60%. Can't argue that.
If you told me RJ Davis was going to shoot 60% from 2, I think UNC wins their last 5 instead of, or wins their last 6, whatever it was, since they started their downturn. I think they win them all. Here's Bacot, and when he knew that they would, meaning UNC would be playing inside out.
They're bigs that were in foul trouble, and I knew going into the second half I had to put a lot of pressure on the rim and really try to get them out of the game, and I thought I did a good job of that.
How gosh darn simple is that? The opposing team has bigs in foul trouble, so you give it to your multiple-time All-American who happens to play down where the foul trouble is for their defense. It's not rocket science. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's, they're hedging or they're handling the pick and roll this way, and you have to play the chess. Yes, sometimes it's as simple as your best player has a matchup with someone in foul trouble, or maybe not best player. One of your better players has a matchup with someone in foul trouble. Go to that well until it runs dry. And RJ Davis understood that. Still got his 20. That's what I'm saying. I'm not asking RJ Davis to go be on the bench. I'm not asking him to stop taking shots. I'm saying be okay with 20 points and don't make it an absolute necessity to get 27, especially if it's going to take you 10 more shots to get there. Here's RJ Davis on getting back in the win column.
VTech's a really good team. They run sets really hard. They play defense really well. So, the credit to them. But at the same time, we also want to just kind of make a statement again and just get ourselves back in the winning column.
Still need to pick up the defense, right? The defense isn't at the level it was playing earlier in the year. Part of that was the opponent, but 80-plus to Virginia Tech, a little much. But when you score 96 yourself, I'll be a bit easier on your defense. If you go out there and score 96, I understand you're pushing tempos, you're getting up and down, you're maybe selling out for an offensive board or two, which sets up the other team. I'm fine with that. They looked like the team that had me a full all-in believer earlier this year. Right near the end of that 10-game win streak they had, I mean, I was darn near putting them in ink as a number 1 seed. I'm not going to lie to you and say my belief hasn't wavered, but they played like the team that had me all in against Virginia Tech. Dennis, are you ready for our Harrison Ingram section?
Yes. I've been waiting for this all day, actually. Actually, since Saturday.
The amorphous blob, the shapeshifter, the do-it-all, Harrison Ingram, 12 points, bunch of free throws, by the way. 12 points, didn't shoot a great percentage like we're used to seeing. 17 rebounds. The thing I love most about Harrison Ingram is I don't care what you do, he's going to find a way to impact the game in a big way, right? If you take away his offense, if he's having a cold night shooting the ball, I think he was 0 for 4 from 3. If he's doing that, he's going to go, fine, I'm going to chase down these rebounds. And I guarantee you, if you were, right, you put your best boxer outer on him and made it so he couldn't get the rebounds and you were pushing him out on the perimeter, he'd walk out away with 5 steals and 3 blocks. He's going to find a way to impact the game in a positive manner, and it's one of my favorite things to do. I love watching UNC basketball going into the game like it's a true whodunit kind of, but in reverse. It's like, I know Harrison Ingram done it. I just need to find out how, right? Imagine if you're playing Clue and they say it was Colonel Mustard. Now you just have to find out if it was in the study with a candlestick, if it was in the library or the office with the rope. Like how was it? Right? I at the end of the game, I know Harrison Ingram's going to have an impact on the game. Was it in the post with rebounding? Was it on the perimeter with defense? Was it at the three-point line with shooting? I don't know. We have to figure that out, but it's a very, very fun game to play going into each UNC game.